Hey, shalom, shalom. We're going to start off by giving all praise, glory, and honor to
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahash,
Bahashem,
Yahweh,
Yahweh Shai,
Bahash.
Bahashem Makakwadash. Hey, shalom to the elect. First and foremost, let me not forget to mention double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, the men that taught us this truth, the men that rule well in the truth and in doctrine, and shalom to the elect, the house of David out there. So right now, I'm the brother Ashiyar, and I'm here with the brother.
My bad. Shalom.
Yep. Shalom, the Wadi Habba Shem Yahweh Shai for allowing us to come together once again to do another Lord's Will edifying lesson. And we wanted to tap in because I believe it was yesterday, right? Yeah, yesterday we the Lord had us do the lesson. Spirit jumped on us to do a lesson about World War III. And I kind of had to cut it short because I had a lot of things going on, but I got a bit more time today, and the brother also has some availability. So Spirit moved us to do like a part two to that lesson and add some more points. There's a lot of things that we kind of just briefly touched on, but we want to kind of go more in depth about it pertaining to Biden's recent comments.
Uh,
And
Salaki, can I just add a point, son, the
yeah,
spirit?
yeah, definitely, bro.
To the lesson that you did like a couple of minutes ago, also, like, just forget not your purpose, if I'm roughly paraphrasing the title of
Mm-hmm.
that lesson. And it's actually the spirit that, I'm doing this lesson right now, obviously, because I actually took a day off because I felt very overwhelmed from like,
Mm,
I go to school and I sometimes do a work and things like that. So it's like
mm,
back and forth, back and forth, and it's very tiring. So today I actually took a day off because I needed that and things like that, just to relax, just get myself back together. Because like, look, Jake says the hustle hard, things like that. But it's like, look, you can hustle hard, you can grind hard, but don't grind yourself to the point where, like, eventually, if you fall and you can't do nothing, you need your time or days where you need to recuperate, take a day off, a minute to like get back into the feel of things and things like that. And you
that's
know,
right.
really, right now, what time is it? Like, yeah, right now, I would be in school right now, but uh, took that spiritual day off to do the Lord's work, which is a lot better than what any carnal things that I do. So just want to add that on.
Absolutely, bro. Hey, man, that's beautiful, man. And yeah, like you said, you do need those times to decompress. And this is the comfort. At the end of the day, we're doing the Lord's work, but this is also therapeutic, man. This is something that benefits our spirit. So, when we're doing the right thing with the Lord and, watching and praying, and this is our purpose. So when we live in our purpose, you feel the most fulfilled when you live in your purpose. Just like, again, going to the alpha male thing. We'll get into the lesson, but as the spirit, you bring those things up, the topic, because dealing with the alpha male channels, the red pill channels, they be mentioning the living your purpose, which is very true. And, they're talking about worldly shit, but how much more us living in our purpose? That's the real fulfillment. The best thing, and it may seem boring on the surface and whatnot, but it's really excitement in this journey. When we really tap in and see the things that's going on and the position that we're in amongst a world of billions of people, we're amongst a few select men that the Lord decided to wake up, and not only wake up, but give them the 100% doctrine, give them the certified 100% truth. So, all we could do is praise the Lord and be grateful for that and continue to live in our purpose to the best of our ability. And hey, with that being said, we could tap right into these prophecies, man. Unless you have anything else to say on that, with regards to that.
No, I'm good.
Okay, Con. So, we left off yesterday dealing with, speaking on the whole piece of safety thing. I had dropped an article in the chat in the group me. So I don't know if you want to pull it up because I can't pull it up and record from my phone, or at least I don't know how to. Not sure if there's a way to do that.
Did you put it today or was it yesterday?
I put it today. It wasn't the same exact article that we read yesterday, but it's kind of like one that's just um basically it's kind of like it's two in the same. It's like the same information
Okay, yeah, I see
that's
it.
listed on there. Yeah, so if you want to read some of that article and then we could pick it apart through the spirit.
This is it right here, right? This is it? Just want to make sure.
Yep, that's the one. That's the
Okay.
one.
Let me do this real quick. Let me put on Do Not Disturb. All right. So as you can see the article right here, I'll just show it on the screen and I'll say it anyways, but just so you can see it. It says, passing of U.S. aid package is a win for global peace. Going into it, it says the U.S. Congress this week passed long-awaited, hotly contested legislation providing military aid to Ukraine, Israel, and the Indo-Pacific, along with humanitarian aid to victims around the world.
Mhm. So
Oh, my bad.
just want to make this quick point again, tapping into the same spirit of the lesson from yesterday, which is just the hypocrisy of the so-called white man of Esau Edom, because here it is, they're saying that this is securing world safety, right? And we touched on this yesterday, but hey, we're gonna hit it again. They're mentioning that okay, this aid package is going to help with world peace. But what they just said was that it's a military aid package. So somehow in Esau's twisted mind, they're able to say that we're investing in bombs, guns, weaponry, things that is weapons, deadly weapons of destruction that destroys and kills people in war. And somehow that means world peace, world safety. And we know that the things that they're doing is reckless and dangerous, and it's going to lead to doomsday, what they refer to as doomsday. All right, but you can keep reading it unless you had a point to make.
No, I'll keep reading.
Yeah.
So continue, it says bills of which President Joe Biden signed immediately. It says the aid for Ukraine is critical. Its military has been running short of ammunition, and Russia has been exploiting its advantage to make battlefield gains.
Mhm.
This is, explained Biden, a good day for world peace. Passing the aid package is a victory for internationalists in Washington and the consensus that has guided foreign policy in the U.S. Capitol since the end of World War II. The
Yep.
world. Oh, my bad. You gonna say something?
Yeah, I wanted to bring out just the precept right here. I'm gonna get straight to the point. First Thessalonians 5:3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So again, Biden said peace and safety. Biden said this is going to bring in peace. This is going to bring more stability to the world. This is going to make the world a safer place. But we know that he's a devil, and the devil is what? A deceiver, a liar. All right, we went into Isaiah 30:32 yesterday. The liberal, the churl shall no more be called liberal. So they're not going to be, the vile man that he is not going to be able to proclaim himself as noble, because the world is waking up to his bullshit. Okay, that's why it says, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. All right, and they shall not escape. So there you have it. So they're not going to escape the judgment. There's another scripture I want to grab real quick in book of Sirach 21. Sirach 21:9, it says, the congregation of the wicked is like tow wrapped together. Tow is basically like kindling, like smaller sticks and things that you would have to start a fire. That's what the congregation of the wicked is likened unto, which is who? The so-called white man, the Edomites. All right. And the end of them is a flame of fire to destroy them. Okay. So the end of them is a flame of fire to destroy them. Okay, so they're not going to be able to escape that judgment that's coming for them. The end of them is a flame of fire. Okay, so yeah, that was it on that. You can keep reading the article, Baba Kasha.
So let me see. I'll start from there again. It says this, explained Biden, is a good day for world peace. Passing the aid package is a victory for internationalists in Washington and the consensus that has guided that has guided foreign policy in the U.S. Capitol since the end of World War II. The world has been troubled, however, by the strength of the opposition and the resulting delays. allies and partners are concerned that let me see, what is that word? Hold on. I'm sorry, damn, I'm having a little trouble saying this word. It says allies and partners are concerned that isolationists, hopefully I'm saying that right, are gaining strength and the durability and credibility of the U.S. commitments to them may not be assured.
Right, globalists, the elites. Okay, so they're upping the money on war with the big major power that has nuclear weapons, and somehow that, in their twisted, fucked up mind, that makes the world a safer place. So this man is a double speaker, you know? He's literally stabbing you and telling you, I'm here to help, I'm here to help. Don't. I'm here to help. Here, let me help you. Boom, hit you in the ribs with a big butcher knife. That's why we call this man the devil. That's why the Lord hates the Edomites, man, because look at the things that they do. Look at the world under their rulership. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Okay, and we're going to get into Joel, the 3rd chapter, but is there any more? Is there anything else there that's worth reading, or?
Let me see real quick. But just to add on to also what you were saying, what you were saying reminds me of like with Esau, messing things up. If you ever watch Family Matters with Steve Urkel, he come to the Carl Winslow's house, he messed things up, and the father would try to stop him and be like, "Yo, Urkel, stop, children." And then after everything, be like, "Did I do that?" Except that it's on the opposite side where, like you were saying, he's intentionally doing it.
Yeah, I remember that shit. That was my abuela, my grandmother's favorite show, man. I used to watch that show all the time back in the 90s. Or that show was dope.
What was it? They call him like a klutz, person that always just messes up all over the place. He'd start messing the crib up, and the father would just have this messed up grill on his face, just looking at him like, "Neighbor, did I do that?" And it's like,
right, he'd be ready to spaz. Carl Winslow would be ready to spaz on his ass, man. Like, fuck. And he wasn't even his son. He was from the next door neighbor, right?
Yeah.
Always up in their crib doing and causing havoc, But yeah, that is a good comparison to Esau, man. But yeah, is there any more in the article?
Not really seeing anything.
All right, that's cool then. So if it because I think the major point, I just wanted to touch on the aid package and what Biden said. That was pretty much it. Everything else.
Actually, I see something here. I'll read it. Like
yeah, no doubt.
2 paragraphs.
See,
I knew it. See, that's why I locked my door. I'm doing something. I want one of them trying my comment. One second, Salaki.
Nah, that's cool, bro. It's cool, bro. I'm gonna just speak. So yeah, we're gonna get some more into that article. We're gonna read Joel, the 3rd chapter. In the meantime, let's see. Oh, I got one. Tapping into what we just mentioned. All right, I'll read this real quick, and then we could get into the paragraphs the brother was about to read. But this is Sirach 10. Okay, Sirach 10, and straight to the point. And 8. Sirach 10 and 8. Oh, you know what? I'll read Sirach 10 and 3. Sirach 10 and 2. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his. I might as well start from the top. Sirach 10 and 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. So is Esau's government well ordered? No. There's always controversy, bunch of transformers as congressmen, and a bunch of weirdos and man boy lovers, NAMBLA members. Okay. So he's not a prudent man, and prudent deals with wisdom, foresight. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. That's why America is the biggest freak show going. Babylon the Great, America is the biggest freak show going. Why? Because the man that rules over it is a freak and a weirdo and a demon, right? Dealing with Esau, Edom, the elites, the bankers, okay? An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. Right. So an unwise king, that is, you could use that to apply to Joe Biden right now. That's why Americans are suffering the most right now. Well, other parts of the world are suffering a lot more right now, I could say, but Americans being so used to that cushy lifestyle, they're feeling it more. And eventually America is going to be turned into a third world place. This is going to be a third world savage country soon. Okay. And you're already seeing glimpses of it because people are very economically impacted. And when people have no hope and no financial escape route, crime goes up. All right. Violence goes up. People lash out because they have no hope. And that's why, because there's an unwise king, which is Esau Edom, that's ruling over this city, which is America, Babylon the Great. All right. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. So the Lord is the one who's going to set up one that is profitable, which is who? His son Yahweh Shai. All right. Now jumping to the 8th verse, it says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So this is what you see now: unrighteous dealings, the way that they got America, by deceit, by bloodshed, by genocide. All right, dealing with the Native Americans, which is the tribe of Gad, dealing with the Southern Kingdom, the so-called black tribes, dealing with the so-called Latino tribes. Everything that he did here was an unrighteous dealing, injuries, and riches got by deceit. So that is why it is going to be Esau being the end of the world and Jacob being the beginning of it that followeth, right? Because of this man's iniquity. All right, but yeah, you got it, bro. If you want to read those paragraphs, you could get them.
Yeah, I believe this has something here. You can speak on it if anything hits you as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it says here, it says aid to Ukraine is the most pressing and important element of the legislation. Ukrainian forces were so starved of ammunition that they were forced to ration responses to attacks for fear of running out. By one account, Russian artillery fire outnumbered that of Ukraine by up to 10 to 1.
Wow.
This allowed Russia to make gains on the battlefield. It says the new aid will not turn the tide in the war. It will continue to be a slog. It will, however, give Ukraine much needed support, both moral and material. U.S. officials can see that they must first make up for the 6 months of delay, and Russia will enjoy continued superiority on the battlefield.
So this is an exercise in futility. All right, an exercise in futility, which means that it's pointless. And what is it? Well, there is a point to it. It's going to line the pockets of the military contractors of the military industrial complex, but they're already acknowledging that Russia has superiority. They outnumber them 10 to 1 in terms of artillery, right? So what is happening here is a money grab by the military industrial complex. And also the elites are using it, using Ukraine as a proxy in order to push the world towards that World War III. Okay. So we know that the Heavenly Father is in control of all these things anyways. But look at the spirit that he put upon Esau, the so-called white man, and look at how they're maneuvering. Okay, they're over there poking around with Russia. All right, they're over there creating more problems, more drama, more issues, right? And a war that can't even be won over there. Because they're already on a losing end. Ukraine is already on the losing end of it. So they're going to support the loser in the battle because it's going to make multiple billions of dollars for different companies. So it doesn't matter who wins, because at the end of the day, the companies that make the bombs win. You see? Because this man profits off of what? Death and destruction. And Ukraine is his own people. Ukraine is pretty much Edomites. I'm sure you got Jake mixed in there too, and some other nations. But it's mostly Esau over in Ukraine. And look at what he does to his own people. Okay, and then there was another point I wanted to make too. Shit, it's escaping me. Damn. It was about Esau being in Ukraine. Oh, right. So, them messing around with Russia, they're always overextending themselves. Just like if Russia was to go into Mexico, that would be a threat to world peace, right? Everybody will acknowledge that's a threat to world peace. Russia, the Cuban Missile Crisis, when Russia, the Soviet Union, they put missiles in Cuba, that was considered a threat to world peace. All right. So during the 50s and 60s, you had a big movement of like, nuclear preparedness, people, those drills where they would have the children hide under the tables, all because Russia put some missiles in Cuba. But here it is decades later, and with the stakes being even higher because the weapons are even more powerful now, here they go and they turn around and they go and put all these weapons and invest billions of dollars into a war against Russia in their backyard in Ukraine and say that this is going to help world peace. This is the delusion of the so-called white man. This is the absolute hypocrisy of the so-called white man. And it's so obvious, it's slapping you in the face. It's like they're daring Americans to do something about it because they're saying, listen, we're taking your money, we're putting it into a war that you do not support, and what are you going to do about it? You ain't going to do shit. And this is for world peace too, nigga. So what now? And the people don't do shit because they're so damn brainwashed. But again, with this election coming up now, certain events that's happened is going to snap these people back into reality. Like, your country is being taken from you. Are you going to just let the liberals take this shit from you? And then the conservatives going to be like, hell no. And they're going to strap up. And we already know. We saw the movie Civil War, even though it was it was all right. It was decent, but there was a lot of spiritual things in that movie. But either way, that was a foreshadowing of, boom, going into this election season, what's about to happen. So it's not hard to tell, But you got it, bro.
Right. So reading this last one, it says the legislative win is just as important for the signal it sends to U.S. allies and adversaries around the world. Do not count the U.S. out. The U.S. government remains committed to America's leadership in the world, said Biden. After the vote, Biden added, we don't walk away from our allies. We stand with them. We don't let tyrants win. We oppose them. We don't merely watch global events unfold. We shape them. And that's just the parts I want to bring out there.
Right. Yeah. You're shaping doomsday. You're shaping the end of your own kingdom. So Biden is just a bumbling idiot, but somehow in the midst of him mumbling and being a fool, he still has all that pride in him. Can't make this shit up. But I want to get into this Joel, the 3rd chapter. If you got any other precepts, you can let them fly too, bro. Just let me know.
God.
And this is Joel 3:1. For behold, or matter of fact, if you want to pull it up and you can read it.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Start from the top.
Yep, Bob Shah.
I got you. All right, so this is Joel chapter 3, verse 1. It reads, for behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
The captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. So this is when the Lord is going to put an end to our captivity. Because Judah and Jerusalem, Judah is the chief tribe of the nation of Israel, and Jerusalem is our capital city. So that represents the nation of Israel as a whole. Because once Judah and Jerusalem is set, the captivity of Judah is turned. That means the captivity of our whole nation is going to be turned. Okay? So then in that time, we're at the time of the end of our captivity here in America, Babylon the Great. And I got a quick precept to pertain to that as well. And then we can read on. This is Jeremiah 50 and verse 33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. So Judah and Israel's oppression happened together in this Babylon, which we know Jeremiah 50 and 51 is talking about the judgment upon Babylon. So it says, and all that oppressed Salakia were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. Their Redeemer is strong. Who's our Redeemer? Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai of hosts is his name. He shall throughly plead their cause, which plead means to judge, And what is our cause? To be delivered. All right. I think, I don't know if I read it. No, I think that was a lesson I had just done before this. So Luke 18, that they cry day and night. How shall he not avenge his elect that cry day and night out unto him? Right. So they're crying to be delivered. We're crying to be delivered from captivity. Or it says that he may give rest to the land. Yeah, the land is going to be rested when this devil is put out of his misery and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. If you could, bro, Baba Kushah, you could look up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you just went a little low there for a second, but yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I just got a call. If you could get me the word for disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. Disquiet.
Gotcha. What chapter?
That's Jeremiah 50 and 34.
Gotcha.
And then we can hop right back to Joel 3 after that.
All right, so I got for disquiet, the Hebrew word there is ragaz. It says, definition says tremble, quake, rage, quiver, be agitated, be excited, be perturbed.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. So yeah, it keeps saying the same thing. To quake, be disquieted, be excited, be perturbed. To cause to quake, disquiet, enrage, disturb.
Mm-hmm. Quake, yeah, like quake with fear, like shaking with fear. And hey, that's spiritual too, because did not the earthquake happen in New York,
Yep,
which is considered the heart of Babylon?
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, bro?
My bad. It says here to be afraid, stand in awe.
Yep, stand in awe. And that's a spirit, because when we started reading this, I saw a license plate that said wonder. And it was in the way that it was the way that it was like spelt out. It was one, like one, the number one, yeah. Wonder, and it's not our power called one. So yeah, that's the way I looked at through the spirit. But yeah, wonder. They're gonna wonder. They're gonna wonder at the judgment of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. Okay, so yeah, I was it on that. So the inhabitants of America, Babylon the Great, they're gonna be in fear. They're gonna be shocked. And all of this bread and circuses, there's no amount of bread and circuses or rap beefs and entertainment bullshit that's going to stop them from focusing on what the Lord is about to do. All right. So we can go back to Joel 3.
Sure. Mm-hmm. So I'll read it again. Joel chapter 3, verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel.
And then we just read, perfectly connecting that precept to Jeremiah 50 and 33 and 34, that the Lord is going to plead. He's going to judge on behalf of his people in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, which is the valley of Yahweh's judgment. All right. Which is out there in what they call the Middle East, which is really Western Asia. Okay, right around the land of Israel, where all those troops are going to be gathered for that final judgment. Okay, so the Lord will plead with them there for his people and for his heritage, Israel. Right. Continue.
I have a precept after, but I want to read this little part here, and then I have a precept after. It says, also it says, continue, it says, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Let me get Lamentations 4, I believe it is. Yeah. Just to back up the point on verse 1 and 2, it says, Lamentation chapter 4, verse 22, it says, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion, which represents Israel. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. Now, if you know about the history of Israel, we went into captivity under the Assyrians, the Babylonians, the Persians, the Greeks, and the Romans. So when is this going to be accomplished where we're no longer going to go into captivity? That no longer going into captivity is going to be now after we get out of this captivity. So that's, even though Jeremiah wrote that during his time, that wasn't supposed to be fulfilled during his time. It's supposed to be fulfilled now. So I read, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. Why does it always start with Edom? Edom's always first. If you read Psalm the 83rd chapter, it talks about how they have made a tumult against the Lord. They have made a tumult against thy hidden ones. And it starts with what? The tabernacles of Edom. Then it mentions some other nations. Then it mentions Amalek. It always starts with Edom as the first one. Why? Because Edom is the one that's ruling the world today. I don't know if we got it, but Second Ezra 6 and 9, for Esau is the end of the world because he's the one that's in rulership right now. Not Japheth, not these other nations, Esau.
That's it.
So that's why it says, my bad. Are you going to say something?
No, you got it, bro.
Oh, that's why it says, he will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. And how is the Lord discovering his sins? By using us, the mouth of his prophets, bringing all his sins, his iniquity out there and letting the people know how he really is. Like you were saying yesterday, how the liberal, they try to make themselves seem like a noble person, but what it also had other definitions to it as well, where I think it went to scoundrel, if I'm not mistaken, and an unrestrained person, if I'm not mistaken. It's really showing that, look, they try to make themselves seem like this noble person, but really they're scoundrels, they're liars.
Yep. That's right, bro. Beautiful point. So, yeah, more on that?
No, that's it.
All right, cool. Yeah, so I wanted to make the point on the second verse there, where it says, among the nations, it says, who may have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So our people are in a diaspora, which is basically means that they're scattered out into the world. The Israelites are in all these different nations, all right, which primarily we're being referred to here in America as Black, Latino, and Native American, but also parted my land, showing you that those nations are heathens over there. All right, those nations are the Gentile nations, which if you could get I think it's Luke 20, where the Lord said that the Gentiles in Jerusalem, something along those lines, I forget how it's phrased exactly. But
till the time the Gentiles be fulfilled, is that what you're looking for?
Yep.
I believe that's
so. It shows you that the ones that's living in the land right now are not the people, and neither are the Palestinians. You know, because a lot of so-called Arabs, they get all up in a bunch when you tell them that, nah, y'all don't belong in that land either, because they'll say, well, the Palestinians were there for years. Well, yeah, but you were not the original, and even if you were there, it doesn't matter. The Lord the Canaanites were there for a while before the Lord sent Joshua and Israel to go take it down. It didn't matter, because the land belongs to the ones that the Lord ordains for it to have it. Just because you've been there for a while doesn't mean shit. The Lord wants his people, the Israelites, to have it. So that's who's going to have it. But they did part the land because you got the Gaza Strip. That's what the whole battle, that's what the whole fight over there is about right now. You know, you have those small hats, those so-called Israelis over there, which is the nation of Edom, and they're doing what? They're over there trying to get more of a piece of that Gaza Strip, right? And what do they want to do? They want to develop it, real estate projects, entertainment, you know, malls, condos, big buildings, hotels, you know, all of that bullshit, you know, which the Lord is going to cut that short. But they're why are they fighting? If they're the people, why are they even fighting to try to get the land that should rightfully belong to them? When the Lord brings his people back into that land, nobody's going to be able to step to us and say, oh, well, we have a stake to this land too, because we've been here. They're going to get the fuck up out of our way. Is what they're going to do. You see? Or they're going to get, you know, in the spirit, they're going to get that. They're going to get, well, when I say in the spirit, physically, they're going to get that ass kicked. All right. They're going to get the rod of iron, man. Okay. So they're getting a spiritual ass whooping now, and they're going to get a physical ass whooping when the time comes, because they're not going to be able to resist when the Lord sends, when Heavenly Father sends Yahweh Shai and his elect, when New Jerusalem comes back down to take what is rightfully theirs. All right, but do you got that precept?
Oh yeah. Also want to add on to what you were saying as well. You gotta remember, knowing the history of our people, that land really belongs to Israel anyways, because
exactly.
If you go to Yahushai's lineage, I believe it goes through his lineage in Luke the 3rd chapter, and it links Yahushai all the way going back to Abraham, and then Abraham all the way back through the lineage to Adam. So the whole nation of Israel, that lineage, the nation of Israel, really goes back to who? The sons of God, which is what? The sons of Adam. And when you go into Genesis, I think it's the the first chapter. It talks about the Garden of Eden. I could be wrong. Maybe it's the second chapter. But it
Mhm.
talks about the Garden of Eden. Now, Eden is the name of the planet Earth, which is Idon, which is paradise. So this Earth is supposed to be a paradise, and the garden is the land, which was eastward in Eden, which is talking about the land of Israel, the land of Jerusalem. That was the land that the Lord gave to the sons of God. But then after, Adam transgressed, got kicked out of the land, and through after the flood and all that type of stuff, the Canaanites was living in the land, and then the Lord delivered us out of Egypt, and then eventually he using Joshua to deliver us into the land of Israel. But really through the lineage, that land really belongs to us anyways. So even if we had, like you were saying, heathens in the land, like you're saying, we had that back then as well. But what, the land since the beginning really belonged to us, really belonged to our lineage.
That's right, bro. That's right.
But
Yeah, you could bring that out.
Yep, got you. This is Luke chapter 21 and verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
Mm-hmm. The time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So that means what? The end of their rulership. Esau's the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So Jerusalem shall be trodden up down of the Gentiles. That shows you that those people, and this is why the small hats of the JOO, all right, the you wish people, they reject the New Testament. First of all, it describes the Lord as a black man, so that automatically, it describes him as a man with dark skin and woolly hair. That automatically that shows that it ain't them. All right, and also the fact that it says things like that it shall be trodden down to the Gentiles. So that means what? That until the Messiah really comes back, which is going to be in a glorious fashion, with the heavenly hosts, the angels, is going to be the most monumental event to ever occur. So it ain't just going to be somebody hops on a flight and goes back to Israel and woohoo. But people that think like that really have no faith. They don't believe in the Most High. They believe in the watered down version, whatever nonsense doctrine they believe in, man. Whether they follow the Talmud or whatever they're into. Point being, though, that they are not the people, and this proves it. Okay, because it says that Jerusalem shall be trodden down to the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So the time of the Gentiles has not been fulfilled because we're not in the kingdom yet. The Lord has not returned. So a lot of Christians don't like to acknowledge that, but then they'll sit there and say that those are the people. So you're basically saying that the Lord is lying, But yeah, we could go back to Joel 3.
Got you. All right. So continuing on, Joel chapter 3, verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink.
Yep, that's what they did to our people. All right. I've given a boy, when they cast lots, it's like, all right, you sin with, it's like throwing dice, All right, we're gonna cast a lot. If I win the lot, then I get it, then that's mine. That boy, that girl. And they did sick things to our sons and daughters, man. So as a whole, the Lord's people have been sold to the different nations. Okay. And that's why the Lord is going to come with a recompense. Yeah, continue.
Mm-hmm. Verse 4. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tyre and Zidon and the coast of Palestine, because the people that's living there now are not the people. So the Lord is saying, like, pretty much like, what are you gonna you have nothing to do with that land. All right. And how are you gonna recompense me? So the Lord is gonna do what? He's gonna turn it right on their own head, which is gonna be that judgment.
Continue.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things.
Mm-hmm. Which they did take our actual vessels, but it also represents us too. All right, but they took they defiled our temple. They defiled um the holy vessels of the temple. They took, they took what is rightfully ours, man, which rightfully belongs to the Lord, most importantly. Yeah, continue.
Mhm. It says, verse 6, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border.
The Grecians, Edomites. All right. So that's going into how the nations, the nations had us in captivity, mainly the so-called white man. That's been our worst captivity, but all the nations had a hand in it. You had Ishmaelite slave traders that would take Jake and sell them, and they were all Psalms 83. They had a conspiracy together to cut us off from being a nation.
Mhm.
You read on.
Verse 7, behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head.
So the Lord is going to give you a reward, a recompense for what you did to us, all you nations. All right, you so-called Arabs, you so-called white men, you so-called Chinese, all of the nations got rich and have been having basically a big old party and celebration about our downfall. That's what the what's that that arch, the Arch of Titus.
Oh.
Okay. The Arch of Titus represents Jerusalem being taken down. Okay, and they have it all. They have a big one over in Brooklyn, right around where you at, right by Prospect Park, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. I'll be passing by that at times. Yeah.
That's an Arch of Titus.
Yeah.
So they have different versions of it. I think the main one is in France, if I'm not mistaken.
I have to look it up.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I could be wrong about that, but I know that there's versions of it throughout the world.
Wow. And Jake
so
convening around that place a lot. Yeah.
People be going over there taking pictures, and it's like, this is what it is. They hide it in plain sight. It's right in front of everybody, but most people, you ask them, what is the significance of that thing? They don't know. They just think it looks cool.
But actually, I had 2 precepts for verse 7. I'm going to just quote it, if you don't mind. So I'll read Joel 3 and 7 again. It says, behold, I will raise them out of the place where ye have sold them. Right. And 2 things that come to mind is Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, where the Lord says what he would raise up the dry bones. Right. And he would take us up out of our graves, and you shall know that I am the Lord. Right. So that is happening. The Lord is raising us up out of those dry bones, out of those graves. And the second precept that comes to mind, I know it's in Psalm 50, if I'm not mistaken, where it says, I will set them in order before your eyes. Right. I will reprove you and set them in order before your eyes. So with the Lord raising us up, he's also setting us in order in front of the eyes of our enemies. So those are 2 precepts come to mind with that in Joel 3 and 7.
Beautiful.
So continuing verse 8, it says, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for the Lord had spoken it.
So just as the nations took part and sold us amongst themselves, we're going to have the Edomites in captivity, and we're going to sell them, okay, into other nations, which I've heard that the Sabians are Hamites. Either way, they're going to be cruel to them. All right. But yeah, you can read on.
Verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men.
So proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. We're proclaiming it through the spirit of prophecy, letting them know what does it all mean? What is this judgment happening? What is the Bible prophecies? Like, what's the real answers to it all? Right? Proclaim it among the Gentiles. So we're proclaiming. So we have to teach not only our own people, but we also teach the nations of what's about to happen. We're telling them, all right, this is what it is. This is who your identity is in the Bible, and you're all going into captivity. Yeah, go ahead. You can start it from the top again, actually.
Excuse me. It says, verse 9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up.
So they're preparing war. That was what that 95 billion aid package, the military aid package, is them preparing for war. Everybody can see, all right, World War III is the big talking topic, but somehow Esau, the spin, well, that's why Apostle Gabar always calls him the spin, the spin master or the spin doctor, something along those lines. Paraphrasing what he said. But that's what he does. He puts you in the spin cycle. So it's clearly it's one way. Like, yeah, man, the sky's blue today. No. You tripping, man. It ain't that. It's purple. Look at it closer. Look. Nah, man, it's blue. No. Bring out the experts. Okay, well, according to the spectroscopy of the wavelengths, and the sky is actually purple today, but you're only seeing blue because you're an idiot. And then people would turn around and say, wow, yeah, damn, I am a fool. This man is right. The sky is purple. The sky is purple. And then all of a sudden, everybody believes the bullshit.
What was the movie? Don't Look Up. When you could actually
Don't Look Up.
At the end, when the meteorite was really, you could actually see the light of it in the sky. But the president's like, oh, don't look up. They're lying to you. But it's like, yo, if you look up, you can actually see the thing coming.
Yeah. Great movie, by the way. Great movie. Definitely check that out. Y'all get a chance. I think it's on Netflix. Great movie and completely sums up the idiocracy of America, Babylon the Great. Like these are the dumbest people that have ever existed in all human history. Straight up facts. That's not even an exaggeration. That's probably an understatement.
Actually, it's funny that you use that word because there was a movie, I don't know if you ever seen it, called Idiocracy.
Yeah, actually, I never even seen that movie, but I heard the term.
Yeah, no, it was a movie that came out early 2000s, I want to say. I think the actor was Luke Wilson in the movie. He was like put in cryo freeze, and then he saw the world what it looked like years later, and pretty much people were stupid. People didn't know what anything was. They had, I think Terry Crews was the president for whatever reason, but he was a dumbass. But pretty much the name of the movie is Idiocracy. And pretty much he had to, since he knew everything, he had to pretty much teach the people the way it was, which is like Luke Wilson, the Edomite guy, teach people how to. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Right. Yeah, go ahead, Doc.
Verse 10, it says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears.
Which represents taking the measures that they have for agriculture to feed their people, for different programs, social programs, things to benefit their people, and take that away. And this is why Americans are mad right now, because they're like, man, we all suffering financially. You got a migrant crisis, you got this, that, and the third going on. People are going homeless, people are losing their homes, losing their jobs, losing everything they have. And here it is, you take 95 billion of taxpayer money and then throw it into Ukraine. So that is a perfect example of them doing what? Taking their money, beating their plowshares into swords, their pruning hooks and the spears. So we know that we're at the end, man. We know that we're very close to the end of this man's kingdom. If you have eyes to see and ears to hear. Okay, continue.
I'll read it again. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
Yep. Let the weak say, I am strong. So these nations that were not formerly able to claim themselves to be strong, now they have military means to actually puff up their chests and buck up against Babylon the Great America. Because why? The great equalizer, the missile, the nuclear missile, a lot of different nations have it. China has them, Russia has them. Okay. The major players that have them, they're against America. But yeah, go ahead.
So verse 11, it says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord.
Your mighty ones, gather all your top troops, your top men, your top generals, gather everybody. All right. And gather on down. There's going to be a sacrifice in the valley of Yahweh-Shaphat.
Verse 12, it says, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
Man, that's music to our ears, man. The heathen will be judged in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. All right, so something's going to happen out there, whether it be a major something pertaining to Iran and Israel, most likely. That's what it seems like it's going to be. The least of the flock will draw them out, so we know it's going to be pertaining to that region of the world, and all of the troops are going to be over there. All of the different, you already have troops being increased, you know, more of an increased U.S. presence, different troops, and all of the heathen are going to be gathered there for the Lord to judge them. All right, and that's going to be with thermonuclear destruction. Go ahead.
Verse 13, it says, "Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great."
Yep, the sickle. All right, which the people are likened unto that harvest. You know, those grapes that are going to be that are ripe to harvest. They're ripe for judgment. All right, their wickedness, you know, them becoming ripe is likened unto the wickedness turning to a certain level where the Lord said, all right, enough is enough. Now I'm gonna cut it off. And that's where we're right about there. I mean, what else more is there? Like we had the Spirit was on us to do that lesson. What more can we say? You know, like this is it, man. Like there's not much else to say. We just gonna watch it play out and keep, you know, doing what the Lord commanded us to do, Lord's will. Their wickedness is great. You got something to say? Point?
No, actually, the verse 14, if you want me to read that as well.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, verse 14 says, "Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision." Now, also, oh, my bad, Sakia.
No, you got it, bro. My bad.
I was going to say, notice how it says, "For the day of the Lord." Now, we know that the day of the Lord equates with what? The pretty much the end. What? The Lord is going to gather up these Gentile nations in the end. So when you're sitting there saying, this point just came to mind, when you're sitting there saying everybody can be saved, but yet why is the Lord gathering these other nations in the last day for, you know, pretty much his judgment, Yahweh Shaphat, but you're saying everybody can be saved? But it seems like the Lord don't want everybody to be saved if he's moving these Gentiles nations to war. So,
bro.
But
Yo, Salaki, you know, my fault. I just wanted to make this quick thing, right? And then you can make that point. Can you read that there?
What is
it that? Says God's judgments against his against the enemies of his people.
Oh no, I can't really see it. It's not focused.
Yeah, Salaki, but it says God's judgments against the enemies of his people. You got it, bro.
Yeah. So the Lord. Now read that again, Salakia.
It's God's judgments against the enemies of his people. That's the header for the chapter.
Okay. So look, what's the Lord's enemies is what? All these other nations. When Psalm the 83rd chapter, right? It lists all the nations that have made a conspiracy against us, and it starts with who? The tabernacles of Edom. It also mentions the other nations, the Philistines, the Ishmaelites, the Moabites, and then it mentions Amalek, and then it mentions I forgot a couple other nations. Right, these are the enemies of the Lord's people, and the Lord's going to gather them up into the valley of decision to judge them there. So it shows you the Lord is not gathering everybody, but everybody thinks there's this universal one love. But really, if you look at it, prophecy is the Lord speaking, is showing you something different. So how could the Lord be for everybody? But there's the way the Lord is moving things is something different. That's like if you ever play chess, it's like, okay, I think he's gonna do this, but yet he's doing this. And it's like, yo, he's showing you he's gonna do a different move. He's showing he's gonna trap you a different way, but you keep thinking he's gonna do this, but he's actually doing something else. Now, I'm not an expert, but I just watch brothers play. But you know, just to say,
right. Well, yeah, it would be like, all right, you know, like he's setting a trap. Like you think it's one thing happening, but there's a piece over here that's really about to knock your ass off, and that's the piece. You know, that's the piece Elder Tazaya called me with last time, man. But yeah, bro, you got it.
Yeah, that was it on that.
Yeah. So all right. So yeah. So I think that was it in terms of yeah, that was it on that. So I mean, unless you got anything else, I think we can end it there.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing.
All right, cool, no doubt. So yeah, Lord's will, this is edifying. As you can see, things are popping off. More reason to praise the Lord and to rejoice because our redemption is drawing nigh. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and close it out. All praise, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakak Wadash. Hey, shalom to the next one.
Shalom.